Alright, hi there, back with another one. And this video is going to start with a comment from one of my subscribers, or maybe he's a subscriber, maybe he's not. Mr. Optimistic Gaming asked the following question. When you say run a PPE test alongside, I think that's meant to say, alongside a conversion, how do you set it up? So what I think he means from that is when you run a PPE test ad alongside a conversion ad, how do you set it up? You are saying the post engagement from the PPE test ad continues to show in the conversion campaign. Start a PPE test, and then how do we duplicate it so it runs alongside and continues to reflect in the ads of the conversion campaign? Right. Maybe English isn't this guy's first language, which is totally okay. That's not a problem. I do understand exactly what he's trying to say or ask. And as I've put here, I was about to do a video on the exact same thing. So here we are, or here I am, recording that video, and it's about how you use ad IDs for duplication when you're making campaigns in Facebook ads. So let's get on to this first point, which is to always duplicate when possible. That applies to ad sets and campaigns, but not ads. All right. You need to try and use the same Facebook ad as much as you can because it builds engagement on that ad. All right, and when you do Facebook ads successfully, this will mean saving time wherever possible. And this not only applies to ads, it applies to every other aspect of internet marketing. If you can speed up and automate any processes or even outsource them to others, that means you can get on with other tasks and pushing your business harder and making more money. That's point number one. Next point, and I'm going to hop into Ads Manager in a minute to walk you through a working example of how all this is made and created. But before you launch a product, before you start that initial PPE ad to kickstart engagement on this ad, you need to first make a conversions campaign with a purchase objective, or it can actually be any objective that you like. All you need to do is create this campaign and make an ad in it. All right, and you need to make it in a conversions campaign to get this extra text at the bottom of the ad. You'll understand what I mean in a minute. So let's move over on into this Facebook Ads Manager that I've been using to create example videos for my upcoming course. You can watch some more information about that in my last lesson, number 9, is it, I think? It is, yeah. If you go back to episode 9 of my ShineOn YouTube course, you'll be able to watch some more information about the course. But never mind about that now. These are just some example campaigns I've been making to walk people through the process in my course. And a couple of these campaigns were for this example necklace that I uploaded in my ShineOn platform. Let's say this is a product we wanted to create a PPE campaign for to kickstart engagement and interest on the ad to see if it had legs, which is a term I use for, does it look like it'll work out? Is there much interest? Are we going to move on and spend some more money on promoting this product? So in Ads Manager, I do have these campaigns already created, but I'm going to walk you through the entire process and try and be as helpful as I can be. So if we go to create, and we choose engagement as the first consideration for this campaign, and we're just going to call it a we're not actually going to use this campaign, so none of this really matters. I just need to prove to you the example. If we start with a PPE campaign, which is the engagement, we can ignore the ad set level completely here. It doesn't matter for this example because in a minute we're going to get rid of this ad. But on new ad, if we go to create an ad here, we go to create ad, and we're going to add media. We're going to choose an image. We'll just choose this one here real quick. Say this is the image we're going to use on our ad. What will happen? It will put that in, and we'll say choose shop now. You get a limited amount of options here as to what you would want to use. Okay, I generally only ever use shop now anyway, but you'll see when we go and make a purchase ad in a minute, you get more options in your call to action drop down. You get a choice to put in your website URL, which I'll just grab from either this page, the product page, or I can hop into my platform, click through to the necklace. These are all example products I've made, and we just grab the link from here, right? Copy that URL, put it into our website URL here, and then we get the option to put primary text at the top. So, you could put something like this. I'm just copying this in from a text file. You could put that up the top there. And these are the only options you get when creating a PPE ad from scratch. You get the option to put your primary text in, and then you put in a link, and you can choose your call to action option from a limited set of options. Now, what it does in this case, it'll just put the name of your Facebook page and the niche. You pick a niche of your page when you fix it up. To me, that's not enough, right? If you work this the right way and you use ad IDs in the way I'm about to teach you, you can get some more information here and make the whole ad look nicer, and you can sell the product more to the potential customer. So what I'm going to do now that I've just done that example, go back to campaigns, and I'm going to get rid of this ad. Yes, I want to delete that campaign. And I will show you an example of another ad that I've made for this here. And look, you see the difference here. It's got more text at the bottom here. It's got more options. You can put whatever text you like in here, to a point, obviously. So you've only got a limited number of characters, but you can just make the whole ad look nicer. You've got your text at the top. I've put a link up here. This is your primary text. And then you get the option to put in what's called a headline, which is where it says handmade in the USA, and then a description. You can also put text here as well. You put in your link, you choose shop now, as you did in the last example ad. You get a lot more options here. Okay, I'm still going to use shop now, but my point is, had you wanted to use some other options there, you get those in there. You've got your link, and it's more options, right? You've got more choice to kind of hammer home some points to the person looking at this ad. Instead of it just saying heartfelt jewelry, which is the name of my example shop I've fixed up, you can make some more points here. You can put in that it's handmade in the USA. You can put in to make sure you don't miss out on this offer, or you can put $20 off today, or half price today, or limited offer ends tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. You just have more space using this type of ad here. You've got more options, you can put in more text, and you can make more points to the customer thinking about purchasing your item. It's a better, more professional looking kind of ad. That's the point I'm trying to make. So what do we need to do in order to make this happen? And as I've already mentioned, you make the per campaign first, so you get the extra text at the bottom of the ad, which is what I just showed you here, right? This is the extra text. So you make a purchase campaign first, then you turn it off. You disable it right after making it, which is just easily done on a campaign level. You go back to your campaigns and you make sure it's turned off here. If that's on, if you were to click that, it would turn it on and the color would change to blue. When you turn it off, you disable it, it goes to the color gray. That's how you know it's turned off. So you disable that campaign, make sure it's uploaded, obviously, and then you grab the ID of the ad inside that campaign and you use that ID to create the PPE ad with. And then if the PPE ad takes off, if engagement looks in the right place, if it looks nice and you think, yeah, I want to push this product, you can just re-enable the purchase ad you made in the first place, which you would literally do by just clicking this on here. Okay, so let's make a new conversions ad just to show you how this whole process works. So we start not with a PPE ad, but we start with a conversions ad. See that it was Objective Gaming who asked me to do this. We'll just call it his name just for a laugh, and say we were going to push this to America and Canada, females 35 plus, I would call it that. And there you go. Put that in there and we go through. This is us just making an example conversions campaign just so we can get the ad ID. So we're going to choose purchase as the conversion event. There are these errors popping up right now about iOS 14, which is a big thing that's about to happen. I do need to make a YouTube about this as well, but not today. I'm going to do that another time, so watch out for that. You pick all these things here. They don't matter too much because remember, the minute we create this campaign, we're going to turn it off. All right. So none of this matters too much right now. I would make sure the countries are in the right place. Change your age to where you would want it. Oh, remember, none of this matters hugely right now. Make sure that is off always. But the only reason we're creating this whole campaign is to get an ad ID out of it. You could argue that it's good practice to fix all this up, make sure all this is right if you like. You could do that. You could completely ignore the whole ad set level if you liked. All we're concentrating on right now is making an ad to use in another separate PPE campaign. So none of this is fixed up yet. So this is the bit we need to concentrate on. We're going to pick an image that I've already uploaded. We're going to get our link from ShineOn to the product. And we're going to put the URL in there. I'm going to change learn more to shop now. We're going to put the primary text in up at the top. That adds that into here. You could also put a link in that bit if you liked. So like that. So that link is at the top there, and then just as I did on my other ad that I showed you a minute ago, we can put things like this in here. Right, so this is all correct now, and it just looks like a nicer ad, right? It's got, instead of just having heartfelt and the name of your Facebook page here, you've got this extra bit of info. This is what you want. It's more points, okay? It's more selling points to the customer. It's more positive points. It just makes it look nicer, I think, anyway. So this is your example ad that you actually want to run inside your PPE campaign. All right, so we're going to upload this. We're going to publish it. We're going to go back to campaigns, wait till it publishes, and then we're going to turn it off. All right, so no money will spend on this campaign. What we're going to want to do then is we need to get the ad ID of this ad. All right, how do we do that? We're going to want to go to page posts, which I've been using this already, so I have it in my shortcuts, but for anyone else who does not have it there, just scroll right down to here where it says engage customers and choose the page post options. I'm going to open it in a new tab and then click add posts here on the left. Make sure the Facebook page your ad is on is chosen here in this drop down, and then this right here, the ones at the top are the newest ones, okay? So all of these are older ads I've made, but you can tell that this here, this is the ad ID that you're going to want, all right, when creating your new PPE ad. So back to the slide for a second, and I'll just make this point. When you've created an ad once, you should never have to create it again, only reference it. So you make this ad, the one that we just made, the per ad, the one in that campaign, and all we're going to do is reference that from other campaigns. So if we make an ABO campaign now, we're going to reference that ad that we just made. If we make a PPE ad, we're going to reference that ad by referencing this number here. If we then start making CBO campaigns, we're going to reference that ad. And you need to point all your campaigns at this ad, okay, because that will build engagement on that ad. It'll increase likes, shares, comments, interest on that ad, and the more interest on an ad, the better, okay? If you think about it, you're a potential customer and you see an ad for a necklace or whatever from ShineOn, and you look at that ad and it's got 2 likes on it, you're going to think, I'm not sure about that. But if you see an ad and it's got 10,000 likes, loads of shares, loads of comments, loads of people posting under it, and the page owner, the person who made the ad in the first place, responding to all the comments, and like interacting, potential customers are much more likely to buy a product from an ad like that than they are just some empty new ad without much effort put into it and with only a few likes, okay? The more interest on an ad, the more engagement on an ad, the better. Keep building engagement on this one ad and not multiple ads for the same product. So where were we? We've got the per example campaign uploaded for Mr. Objective Gaming. Thank you very much. Where is he? Here he is. This guy, I've spelled his name wrong, but that's okay. Anyway, we've made an example purchase objective campaign that we've now turned off. And now we're going to create a PPE ad, and we're going to use this ad from inside this campaign. So create a new campaign, choose engagement as an objective, and this time, it's not objective gaming, it's optimistic. So I've completely messed that up. Never mind, nothing matters. Right, objective gaming PPE, right? This will be the starter campaign for this product, right? It will be what we're going to use to start to kickstart engagement on the ad and to build up some likes, shares, comments, etc. Right, so this is where we start it, like this. Okay, so we're going to start the ad like that. And then on the ad set level, this is where you would now start to choose firstly how much you want to spend on it a day. It's going to be annoying and not let me change it, which is what happens sometimes. There we go. All right, so you pick your budget. You're going to pick what time you want it to start. It's currently 10:24 a.m, so I would maybe start this at 11 a.m, for instance, or whatever, something like that. And then I would not target anything to the UK right now because shipping times are ridiculous. So let's put in our countries where we want to target this to. Let's just say, for sake of argument, US and Canada. And then we're going to choose our ages as we normally do. Say 35 plus. I'm going to living in this location. I'm going to make sure my targeting expansion is off, which it is. English all for languages. Automatic placements. And then obviously if I wanted to put in any interests, I would add them in on this level too. So right now this ad set is open. If you wanted to put in any interests for your PPE ad, you could. It's up to you. This way you would do it. But that's the demographics fixed up for this ad set here. And now what we want to do is reference our ad from earlier, okay? And by this, all you do is choose an existing post. And our existing post is this one we already made here in the original per campaign that is now turned off. Back to our ads manager, and we just do enter post ID here. Put that in and the post pops up. So now we get the option to use this ad in our PPE campaign with this extra text at the bottom. You can't edit it, but that's the whole point, right? You're using another ad to run inside your PPE campaign that you've already made. So we've got the text here, the link at the top, we've got the shop now button with the correct link in it, and we've got this extra information that we wouldn't have had if we'd have just straight created a PPE ad from start, okay? We're using this ad ID from inside page posts because we've already made this ad. And as I've already said, once you've created an ad once, never create it again, only reference it. And we reference it by either getting the ad from the page posts, or you can go to the Facebook post itself and copy the number from the end of URL. Right, how do we do that? This is another way. It's not quite as easy. I just always use the ID from page posts. It's a much easier way, but I always say it can be helpful to know two ways of doing the same thing. So if we come down to another campaign here, an earlier one that I've made for the same necklace, this is just another campaign for the same thing, and we go into the ads on an ad level and we click the ad that we're interested in. It looks like the one we've just made, right, in these earlier ads. So it's the same kind of thing, and you'll click this little icon here and you come down to see post and click Facebook posts with comments. That will open the Facebook post of your ad. I'll just move that down like that. And this number, right, this number on the end, that's also your ad ID. So you can either use that, or you can just go to page posts and use that ID. I think this way is easiest, but it's completely up to you, whichever one you want to use. The page post ad IDs become live immediately the minute you make the ad. I find with Ads Manager, when you upload the campaigns, they're not always live. They can sometimes take a little while to become live, and I think that is just they have to go through the review process, right? If we look at this campaign right here now, the one that we just made at the start of this video, this is the ad for that, and if I click here, the option's not popped up yet. You've got view, but you haven't got see on Facebook, which is what we want. That's how you get the ad ID there. So it can often take a while. You have to wait for the original per campaign that we created. We would have to wait for that to go through the review process, be accepted, and then after some time, you can then look on an ad level and do edit and click through and get your link from in here. In the meantime, you can just come right through to page posts and instantly right click and copy the number and start creating a PPE ad. And that is pretty much it. So the PPE ad is now in for review, and once that is accepted, traffic will start to run to that ad and start to build engagement on your ad. That's pretty much it. It's quite an easy process, but obviously if you're newish to Facebook ads and this whole thing, that's completely okay. I just thought I'd make this video to explain how that process worked, and hope that I explained things not only to Mr. Optimistic Gaming, not Objective Gaming as I put in here, my apologies dude. Hopefully that's explained things to you, as well as other people who might have had that question as well. So there we are for that video. I do need to create one on this whole iOS 14 changes thing. That will be coming real soon, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you aren't, because I do see that only 22% of you are subscribed to the channel. So please do subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and a comment or whatever, and I'll see you in the next one.